It was
So you had to choose between starving to death or being shot or making it to the other side.
well, I mean, I guess because starting with that, I mean, I have been hungry. You lose your mind.
And you have no energy.
Yeah, you cannot even like lift your eyelids. Like you have no idea how hard it is to lift your eyelids when you're that hungry. You're like dizzy. You're not in your really own mind. You're like different lost there. So that's really there's no dignity in it. And I always say like if you starve them like just one day we lose like civilization, and a few days later we are going to see the monsters in them. And that's like how what it is, what hunger does to people. Without it we cannot survive, we gotta eat. And food you doesn't mean like life here, right? It's so much food available here, but for us it was everything that we wanted and looking for.
You get to China miraculously.
Mhm.
But again, you're in danger if you're arrested by Chinese officials for being there illegally. They will return you to North Korea.
Mhm.
So what do you guys do in China? I mean, you're by yourself at this point, or who are you with?
I was initially escaping with my mom,
Okay.
and we crossed the frozen river, and then we landed in the China. I mean, we arrived at the China side. Then the first thing just happening from my eyes was Chinese human trafficker was raping my mom. I never seen sex in movies. I never. I mean, in school there's no sex education. So, and people in North Korea, lovers cannot hug or touch or holding hands. So I never seen anyone kissing anyone. So I didn't even have the word for like rape.
And you're 13,
Yeah.
and your first witnessing of a sexual act, unfortunately, is
Was
horrific. It's the most horrible thing you could witness. Even if
yeah,
you saw your mom and dad, it would be awkward and you would feel weird. But imagine someone forcibly doing that to your mother.
yeah.
That's devastating.
Well, I mean, I think that's the when I lost my faith in humanity, and when I was doing these tricks in my mind that I was keep almost I keep telling myself stories to stay sane and to stay I mean survive the situation. And she was raped, then they were taking us to another human trafficker. And when people in America talking about slavery, I know exactly what they meant. It means because they literally make us stand in front of them, and these Chinese human traffickers, and like ask me to turn around and then see my structure, everything, and they make a price for us. Like we are like a bags, we are like puppy for them, and
You're
they like
animals. You're nothing to them.
yeah,
You're not even human.
yeah, not of course not. Like
How
they
many people were there besides? Was it just you and your mom at this point with the traffickers, or were there other young ladies too?
no, we're just two of us, and they estimated my mom's price to be around $65, and my price was around like $270, so like below $300. I was way more expensive than my mom because I was virgin, and that was expensive in China. So then they separated my mom and myself. So they sold my mom first. Then I was too skinny for them to sell. So they were saying, "Oh, don't worry." They were telling my mom, like, "Don't worry, we're gonna feed her, and then we're gonna raise her a little bit few more years because she's too small, and then sell her." But as soon as my mom left, this human trafficker again trying to rape me. I felt like a crazy person, and thankfully he had a wife. So he was afraid that if I would scream too hard, that his wife was gonna hear him.
And when your mom got taken away, how devastating was that?
It was already sold, so I don't even know where mom is. I don't have the contact
You
information.
never knew if you're gonna see her again either.
No, never.
And imagine in her mind, as a
Yeah,
parent, what she was going through.
I know. But these traffickers are so sneaky. They always say they don't even tell us. Like they eventually are gonna all meet each other. And we are coming from North Korea. I never seen the map of the world. So how do I know how big China really is? I think just like China is some kind of little village where I was living, like everybody's all next door. So I didn't even know the gravity of losing her or losing even my sister. Later it all hit me, but back then it was, we were just so innocent. We were like coming from different planet, like whatever they tell us, we were gonna believe them. He was trying to rape me and I felt like crazy. Then he sold me to another human trafficker. So every time they send me to the next human trafficker, my price goes up because they make the margin out of me. So they sold me to a human trafficker who was in inner part of China. These traffickers were more borders town of China. So they made more profits of me. And the second trafficker I met, he was a Han Chinese who didn't even speak Korean. So I'm like, I don't speak Chinese. I'm 13 years old. I'm like by myself, and he was trying to rape me. Of course they do. I brought a knife, and there was like it was apartment. I tried to jump and kill myself. Then that's what he did to me. My mistress. He was going to bring my mom and my father to me. And that point I was stop being a kid. I thought like, if I sacrifice myself, I can save my parents. So I did become his mistress at 13. And he did bring my mom. He brought my mom back from a farmer that he sold to. And he brought my sick father 6 months later after I arrived in China.
Wow.
Bek Lover.